special presentation of the Chum Radio Network.
Don't tell me that. Are you ready for me?
There are many ways we can begin this story, but for the sake of time, let's start in July of 1976 and 36 cents. It was with 36 cents that Tina Turner walked away from one of the most publicly successful and privately abusive parents in music history. And with 36 cents and her name, she went on to build a reputation as one of the most enduring voices in rock and roll. She has paved the road for women everywhere, not only in the world of music, but also in film and in fashion. She is admired for her determination, her independence, and her endless youth. After sales of over 50 million albums, countless sold-out tours, and a successful film career, we sit down tonight with the legendary Tina Turner and showcase the new CD, just released in North America this week, 24/7. We also give you a chance to talk to Tina live by calling 1-877-636-8255. 1-877-636-TALK. Tina Turner, welcome to Canada.
I have to make a correction on that one.
Okay, I did all the research I could do. What did I do wrong?
It said abusive parents, abusive marriage.
Abusive marriage.
Okay.
And that's one of the many things.
Everything else was great.
Is everything else great?
Everything else great.
Hey, I got to tell you, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
But the shocking thing I just heard about Tina Turner is she comes up to Toronto. It's one of the mildest days we have here. And you didn't go shopping?
Well, it was cold.
I thought, gosh, I got a list of stores for you, and I know you love to shop.
Well, I went shopping the last time, and I had everything on the agenda, and I walked out today, and I thought, oh, no, this is not a day for shopping. This is just not. I'll wait till spring.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to be here in Toronto, that is, June 4th, so I'll give you the list anyway.
Super.
It is so good to see you.
Thank you.
We have so many phone calls lined up and emails that have been coming in, ever since we announced the fact that you're going to be here. But there seems to be one common theme, and that is that you're such a great inspiration to people. And my question to you is, what is it about you that inspires people? What do you think?
I think it's just because I've been around a long time. My career started in 1960. I've endured the business of recording, of press, interviews, videos, etc.
Everything.
And I'm still around, even though there's a new time for music, there's a new style out there, and I'm still true to myself, so to speak. And I think some kind of way that makes a statement in terms of what one does best, you stay with it because you're respected for it, or it's your success. It's my success in terms of what I've done and how people accept me. And I have to say that I think that's just kind of about why I'm still even on your station today, for that reason.
You really are an inspiration.
Thank you.
You know, and the fact is that, you know, I just quickly talked to you right before we started, and the album, of course, is called 24/7. You work 24/7. Just in the last week, after Super Bowl, what did you do? You did Oprah? Did you go talk to Oprah?
Ally McBeal.
Ally McBeal. What did you do for Ally McBeal?
Jay Leno. Then, wait a minute. Ally McBeal was a whole skit around Private Dancer and the single of... When the heartache is over. But it was a whole skit of them, kind of like Saturday Night Live or whatever.
Yeah.
But the lawyers were doing all kinds of crazy dancing. That
She's
just
dancing
kept
in the studio right now.
They kept us laughing.
All right.
She's wonderful as well.
Yeah.
It's been really tough, but what was good about it is that everybody was full of so much energy and very happy to work with me, and so it made it all fun for all of us.
Well, it's fun to watch. Well, we've got a call from Joey, Kamloops, BC, listening to The River, 97.5 FM. Hello, Joey.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good, how are you? Want to say hello to Tina?
Tina, hello.
Hi.
Woo.
Okay, Tina, you are my bold soul sister.
All right.
What's your question, Joey?
I'll just hold on to catch your breath.
Okay,
I'm at
catch your
work, I could get fired for this. Tina, with the success of like the new artists like Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears and how they got their fame, you know, shoving them out or, you know, using their sex appeal.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
No. It wasn't just a sex appeal. These girls are talented. They can sing. It just happens to be that they are pretty. And so what people normally do is say that they're sexy before they listen to the talent. It's kind of very normal.
That kind of works against them, doesn't it?
That's right. It works against them when they're pretty. If they weren't so attractive, people wouldn't think that they're sexy, and they would hear their talent. These girls are sexy. It doesn't... I don't criticize them because I see where it's coming from when it comes to being attractive first and then mentality second. It's very hard to break the barrier of that. You have to listen to those girls. They're young. Of course, they're using their bodies and the fashion to get attention, but they are talented.
They are talented. That's right. Thanks for your call, Joey. We have Irene here, Toronto, listening, of course, to Chum FM. Irene, what's your question to Tina?
Hi.
Hi.
Tina.
Hi.
So nervous.
No, you shouldn't be.
So exciting. I wanted to say, Tina, as your song goes, you're simply the best.
Yeah?
And I really, really admire you. You're, like Marilyn said, you're an inspiration to so many women, including myself.
Good.
And I've got to mention, I've got this friend, Dina, who's just crazy about you, that she was trying to get through the lines yesterday to get tickets for your concert and wasn't able to. But she's just... You know, the two of us, we just love you.
Well, thank you.
Keep up the great work.
All right.
Well, I just want to say that that's a great call. Thank you so much, Irene. And I want to tell you that Tina is on tour in Canada. I'll give you the dates right now. May 13th, GM Place in Vancouver. Air Canada Centre in Toronto. That one's sold out. Oh, it's sold out. I didn't get to get tickets. I got to get tickets. You know somebody? Oh, okay. Molson Centre in Montreal and the Corral Centre in Ottawa. For Vancouver, Montreal, and Ottawa, the tickets go on sale next Saturday, and they're going to sell out. No problem with that. We're going to hear a song from 24/7 right now. Tell me a little bit about When the Heartache Is Over. You love that song when you heard it the first time?
It was more the track and the song, but I didn't really listen to what I was saying. And it didn't really occur to me what I was saying until I did the video. And I thought, just a second. I said, no autobiographical songs. I didn't want to sing about the past. And then all of a sudden I stopped and said, I don't need to worry about the past. I'm done with it. The song is for the people that's dealing with that at the moment. So I kind of give it as a gift to the people that's dealing with whatever they need to do with the song. It's for you.
All right. This is from Tina Turner from 24/7, When the Heartache Is Over. Canada, how many times have you felt like that? You did it for us. Very good.
But you can't discriminate. You have to say the men.
Okay.
They go through the same problems.
Joey from BC is going to call me.
That's right. The guys go through the problems as well.
All right. Well, Tina, I tell you, we're going to take a break. We've got a call from Calgary. Nadia standing by. We're going to take some emails, too, read a couple of them out, and we're just going to take a 2.5-minute break. We'll be back right after this.
Super.
Turner? Gosh, you look great.
I'm here.
You look great all the time.
I try.
Oh, you do. You really do. Listen, we're talking about 24/7, of course, because this is your latest album, and you're saying that this is your last biggest tour. You're not retiring, per se.
No, this is a big production tour. I've got about maybe 50 or more people on payroll. Trucks, buses, people, payroll, production in terms of choreography and costumes and running order and a show to present to people. It's a big responsibility. I've done it more times than I want to do it more because some kind of way I think about what can I do better than what I've done, and I don't want to even be in the position to do it less. So I feel like, all right, while I'm ahead, while I can still do it, I want to do one last great big production show on the road. And then after that, I'll do small one-offs. I'll still do what we're doing. I'll do television specials. I'll continue to record. I'll do my videos. I'll do maybe something special in Radio City or in Wembley or...
But not this on
not
scale.
This whole scale. People don't realize the scale. They see a television show. They see a show on the road, and they think it's just kind of was gotten together.
Yeah.
It's tons of time and energy and stress getting people together to do a show for people and to make sure that they have a good time. And it's a big load on the shoulder. And I don't want to fail. Not that I think I would, but I don't even want to be subjected to it.
Yeah.
I can do it one more time. I have the energy to do it one more time. I'm doing it one more time. And then after that, what you get is what you see. Ain't nothing more to it.
I love that. Just so much energy. Hey, we have an email from Leslie Both in the UK, and she said she thinks you're going to retire. You just explained that you're not. But are you going to find it difficult to keep yourself occupied? I doesn't sound like it, does it? No.
As I said, I want to continue to record. I'll continue to do videos. I will do special appearances.
How about writing a book?
Another book is coming as well. I don't know when, but it will be a very good one, a continuation of my life, and probably explaining to people. I believe what I'm trying to think about saying is what I learned about living and what life is about that wasn't taught. It wasn't taught in school, and it wasn't taught from my parents. So the next book is dealing with the continuation of where Tina left off, and what continued in terms of making me the person that I have become today.
Nadia's on the phone. She's calling from Calgary, Alberta, Light 96. Hi, Nadia.
Hi, Tina. My name's Nadia.
You're a little one, aren't you, Nadia?
How are you, Nadia?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. What's your question?
I just wanted to say that, Tina, you've been one of my true inspirations, and I really admire you as a person and as a woman. You are one of my role models. My question is whether or not you had a role model growing up, and if so, who was that person?
Good question, Nadia.
Well, I thought that everyone knew that it was Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, not because she was a rock singer.
But I don't remember any of her hits.
Don't think that she did in a rock show.
But why her? For those of
there are two sides to all of us.
Right.
My stage performances has always been a little bit raw and wild, and I was in control of that. But the other side of me that cared about behavior and manners, and I raised 4 sons, and I cared about my private life, and she kind of gave me a great inspiration in terms of behavior and being a mother, the other side of what I was on stage. Other than that, I have to say that Ray Charles, Sam Cooke, these were the men that was an inspiration, which is not people that you would know about unless you go to your computer to find out about them, because they're still around, but they're not of your time. They were an inspiration to me in terms of my singing and delivery and the soul feeling of my roots. And that was kind of like the ultimate part of my inspiration, I would have to say.
Jacqueline Kennedy, did you ever meet her?
Yes, I did.
And what was that meeting like?
Are you ready? You want to hear it?
Was she wearing pearls? That's what I want to know.
I'm not sure. I was so out of myself because I was checking in. Do we have time to talk about it?
We have all the time you need.
Okay. I was checking in a hotel, and I can't remember the name of the hotel at the moment, but of course, obviously, it must have been one of the top ones because she was there. And I was standing at the reception counter, and I looked down the hallway, and I saw her because I knew her composure and her stance and how she carried herself. And I dropped my bag totally out of my head, and I ran to her. And by the time I got to her, she was just about to go out of the door, and I said, "Oh!" I said, I just like to say hello because I'm Tina Turner, and you know what saved me is I had just been to Hyannisport working, and I had met Mrs. Ethel Kennedy and the whole family, and we had spent the day, and her children, Ethel's children, had told Mrs. Kennedy's children about the day. We danced and we went out on the water.
You danced in the compound.
We did the whole thing at Hyannisport. Yeah. So Mrs. Kennedy knew of Tina Turner. And then she said to me, I was so nervous, I was like, she said, and she extended her hand slowly. Her manners was just, her behavior.
They were perfection.
Oh, just so much that was automatic and so right and so good, and that felt so good. And she said, I'm pleased to meet you. And she extended her hand. Of course, I saw every move. And then there was a lady that in back of her was just looking at me with daggers. And I thought to myself, how can she be so mean when the first lady is being so cordial and so nice? And so I just said, I would just like to say hello. And then I think she stood over me. She felt like Schwarzenegger or somebody. Yeah. And well, of course she wasn't. She was quite beautiful. And, then she turned, and as she went out, I turned, and there was Mr. Onassis. I said, hi! Hi! I was out of control. And I went to my room as I checked in, and the sofa was going whoop, 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 whoop. And then I picked up a magazine in the hotel, and it was the whole story of the whole Kennedy clan. And it was so wonderful.
Would you know?
In my wildest dream, will I ever capture that moment? I was just so nervous and so excited.
Do you realize that people feel the same way about you as you did about meeting her?
Well, not exactly.
Know that. Oh, Tina, I don't think you know. Blanca from Fort Erie, Ontario, listening to Chum FM, has a question for you. Blanca, hi.
Hello.
Hi, what's your question to Tina Turner?
Well, I've been a fan of Tina's literally since I was a preschool toddler. And as a little kid, I would save all my pennies in a jar and buy each of her LPs and 45s.
Why?
And I've managed to collect all of Tina's original albums and tons of other material over my lifetime.
My goodness.
Now, it was rumored years ago that Tina's warehouse, where she kept all her old records and paraphernalia, had burned down. And I wanted to ask if there was anything she needed or wanted that I might have, and how to get in touch with her.
Oh my goodness, that's wonderful. Well, actually, that was Bollock Sound, and I had no valuables there that belonged to me at the time because it was years after Ike and I had separated. But I'm curious. I might just give you the number later on of Roger Davis Management just to see what you have, because I'm a little bit interested in things that I didn't figure of value at the time that I might really consider worthy of just looking at the past and somehow.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give Blanca, we're going to get her number, and we'll call her with that information.
Wonderful. And I will send you something. There's some future things.
Things. She's going to send you things, and that's what you want. You want Tina Turner things.
That's right.
Thanks, Blanca.
Thanks, Blanca.
Have a good night.
Oh, you too.
All righty. Well, here's the next song that we're going to play from 24/7. It's called Whatever You Need. Cut one. Tell me about this song before we play it.
Well, I have to tell something that's very touching.
Okay.
My mother passed October 10.
Sorry.
And yes, I understand that everyone has sympathy for it, but Ma was at a happy place. She was ready to go. And at the time when she left, I was engaged in a performance that I couldn't cancel. So my sister took care of one part of Ma's arrangements, and I took care of the second half, meaning my mother wanted to be cremated, and there were services for that, and my sister took care of the services with the church and all of that. And at the time of the memorial services with the church and her religion, I was singing this song with the choir, and I said to the choir, today there are memorial services for my mother, and I'm going into L.A. tomorrow to take over the second part. And one of the choir members said, and today you're singing with a choir. It was very nice how she said it. And it was really wonderful because I dedicated the song to Ma. And some kind of way, it's very special because it will always remind me of that moment of singing with a choir at a very special moment.
Very special.
And it's a wonderful song.
Special of you to mention that story to us, too. Whatever You Need. Tina Turner, Coast to Coast, Canada. I love Whatever You Need. Now that I know the story behind it, I love it even more.
But you know, it's really a love song. It's not a gospel. It's just in the gospel context of musically, but it's just a real love song, which is good for a family as well, but it's a little bit past that one.
Marilyn Dennis talking with Tina Turner. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a couple of other phone calls, get your emails as well, but we have to take a break right now. We'll do that.
It's so good to talk to you.
And you're so gracious about answering questions. And there's some toughies that are going to come your way, and I'm going to hit you with this one now.
All right.
And as I told you at the beginning, and I'll let everybody else know, if you don't feel like answering it, you don't.
Okay.
That's how I am about it.
Oh, good.
This is from Brent in Whitehorse, Yukon, who's listening tonight on 610 CKRW. He says, Dear Tina, I heard that you and Elton John had a falling out during the Divas Live concert. What happened there? Have you patched things up? You're simply the best.
Oh, nice.
So Brent would like to know.
Brent, Elton and I had decided to do some work together about 3 months. And then the Diva concert came up. Actually, I did he did a musical of Aida, and I sung a song on his, on that production of his. So when we arrived in Los Angeles, it was New York, for the Diva show, we started to do private dance on Proud Mary, and Elton had not been able to come to rehearsals. So I thought he wasn't going to do Proud Mary, and he decided to do Proud Mary. And then I started to talk to him about the arrangement. And you don't tell Elton John how to play his piano. Well, I was caught because we had rehearsed, and there are arrangements in my songs, even though Elton feels that he can play anything. And I just was trying to explain to him what the arrangement was, and he became very, very upset. So we decided that because of that reason, there would be times when I would have to tell him what the arrangements were, and I think that he was not prepared to listen. We decided that it might be best that we didn't perform together and we stay friends. So
you
we're
are
friends,
friends.
and we are friends.
All right.
Because I think the performing together would have interfered with our friendship. Yeah. So we live down in south of France together, and we'll see each other and we'll have dinners. But we just decided against it because it was a musical difference that we thought that would not work.
Let us talk about that house in Style magazine, the infinity pool, the rooms that you decorated. You're very good. Now, I was howling when I read that on the last tour that you had samples, like carpet samples and pieces of, material
Everything.
hanging out of your purse. So wherever you went, you'd go shopping.
Well, that is what made the tour work, because it wasn't just about singing and dancing. When I was not on stage, I was on the telephone talking with shops about fabrics, and the builder about how to build the house, and assistant down there with fabrics and curtains, and it just gave me another extension of doing something else other than getting just not really bored, but something else to do other than just the singing and dancing. And so I traveled. Here even I did lots of shopping and bought some wonderful things.
Oh, well, I don't have to tell you about the great stores we have here in Toronto.
Yes.
So how many houses do you have, Tina Turner?
I have two. Well, I have two of my own, and then I own the houses of my family, but that belongs to my family. But actually, I have two houses. One is a summer house, and one is a winter house.
I do, too. No. I wish I did. But now let's talk about the family really quickly.
Okay.
How are the boys? How are they doing?
They're doing okay, except they have not reached the point of where they want to reach in their lives to stand on their very own, to be successful musically or as a manager, etc. There's two boys. One is a musician, and one is have more of a business mind. And realistically, time comes later. Maybe like Mom, it comes for them. But they're not a drug addict. They're not alcoholics. They're still hanging in there, making their lives until the time comes for them. I still give a bit of support, but I think they're doing fine.
They're doing fine.
Yeah.
Do they take advice from Mom still, or?
Oh yes, I'm still mother.
Okay.
We're friends and everything is fine, but I'm still mother.
All right. We've got a call from Dion in Brampton. She's listening to Chum FM. Hello, Dion.
Hi.
How are you?
Pretty good, thanks.
You have a question for Tina Turner?
Yes, I have a question and a quick story.
Oh, we're ready for that.
Hi, Tina.
Hi.
My quick question for you is, how do you feel being, sorry to say this on here, age 60, coming out, launching a new album, going on this grand tour, and having to compete with the younger audiences and younger artists?
Yeah. Well, first, I'm not competing because it's not about competition. It's just about doing what I do, and the people will come to see me to do what I do. Secondly is I'm very secure in my style of work and the success of my work, the fact that I have recorded an album that is a success, which is very difficult these days for even the young, much less the old. And it's a successful album. It's a very, very good album. I'm fit. I still maintain a physical appearance for the public. I am organizing a great show for the public that will give a wonderful entertainment. The whole attitude about entertainment is never about competing. You remain yourself and do what you do best and not think about what someone else does, and therefore you remain as you are.
And that explains her longevity. And now it's story time.
It's a quick story. It's a funny, if there is such a funny thing as a Tina and Ike story.
Yeah.
All right.
May 26, 1973, Tina and Ike were performing down in Toronto. My parents were going as a birthday present for my father. And on the way down, my mother went into labor. My father said, "No way am I missing Tina and Ike Turner." He turned around and dropped her back off at home, went to the concert, had himself a great time, drove back and got her, drove her all the way down to St. Mike's, and a half hour later she delivered my sister.
Oh, my gosh.
And still
She delivered your sister?
Pardon?
Your sister?
My sister.
Did they call her Tina?
No, they didn't.
Thank God. What a wonderful
Well,
story.
there you go. That's a dedicated fan. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
still to this day, he loves Tina, and as do I. And I'm hoping that I come through with tickets, because the last time that she was here, it was my 30th birthday, and unfortunately we couldn't get tickets.
Well,
so I am like praying that I get my tickets.
I hope you do.
Yeah, I
okay,
do.
thank you very much.
Hello to your father for me.
All right.
will.
We're going to play another song from 24/7. There's a couple. Isn't that amazing? That every generation.
You can't have that kid now. I am going.
I got to drop you off. I got to
right.
drop you off.
Oh.
I want to say that 24/7 is a huge hit in Europe right now. It was just released here in Canada, and I'm telling you, the tickets sold out like in no time here in Toronto, and I too hope that she gets tickets too. Well, we're going to go back to in the 80s.
All right.
That song, What's Love Got to Do with It? Oh, and there was a movie too. Yeah.
And there was a movie.
Yeah, it was a great movie. And we're going to play it right. What's Love Got to Do with It? Great song. Do you still get a big thrill when you hear your songs on the radio?
Yes, I do, because, I don't listen to them otherwise because I'm so close to them.
Yeah.
I perform them all the time, and then in the studio is for long. So I try to put a distance, and then when I listen back, I think, oh, they really are good,
They really are good, Tina. We're going to take a break right now. We got a call lined up from Ottawa. We'll do that in just a moment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I love that one, too.
Oh, I love it. I told her when I saw you. Well, we've got a lady who left the emergency room to join you as a backup singer. No, we're not dropping any women off to have children.
Okay.
Gloria Rubin.
That one that left the emergency room.
That one. ER. She left ER. And she had decided to do that. And the story goes that she met you backstage one
Diva.
Yes.
Diva Live in New York City.
Because she was a presenter, right?
Yes,
or
yes.
Yeah.
And, well, I think she's gorgeous. I think she's, it's very seldom that we see such a beauty. And she came into my dressing room, and I made a joke. I said to her, I want you to come on tour with me, and I want that hair, and I want that body, and I want those legs. And she said, I'd love to. But I thought we were just carrying on. And I just thought, oh, what a wonderful, beautiful-looking young woman. Mm-hmm. And then we received a letter. I tried to do a fast forward, and then received a second letter. And then I decided, oh, maybe this girl is serious.
She a letter from her, not her handlers.
That's right. It was a handwritten letter. And Gloria is thinking about starting her career as a singer. And she wants, actually, let's just say the experience of working with Tina Turner to break her in. And she's worked with me at the Hollywood Bowl there.
Mm-hmm. The
football. Super Bowl. Why not go to Hollywood Bowl? Super Bowl.
and
on Oprah, and then later Jay Leno. And she's really fitting in quite well.
She's Canadian,
She's Canadian.
We're very proud of that.
That's right. She's absolutely. She's going to be right here on the stage. She'll be all broken in then. She'll be all ready and right. So
we can't believe. I'm so happy for her because really, what a dream come true for her.
Definitely.
I want to tell you the Canadian dates once again. May 13th, GM Place in Vancouver, Air Canada Centre in Toronto, June 4th, June 10th at the Molson Centre in Montreal, and June 11th, Corral Centre in Ottawa. Let's talk about Lionel Richie.
Okay.
Lionel Richie, you guys have had a relationship for a long time. A musical one.
Yes.
Yes.
When my number one record in America, What's Love Got to Do It, was number one, I opened for Lionel Richie. And we did, because he didn't have many, he's not a rock and roller. He's a balladeer.
Yes.
And we sung Two Times a Lady and on piano. And then later on, I joined his show to come back with Hot Legs. And we did a crazy rendition of that. And so Lionel is at the moment finishing up a recording his album with the Metro Boys, the producers that produce Cher, Believe, and my
When the Heartache Is Over. Yeah.
And so I said, well, to Roger, my manager, what about Lionel? Maybe he might want to take advantage of promoting the album. And what better way to promote it when we worked together before, because I opened for him years ago. And he said yes.
Excellent. What a great thing right now.
Excellent. I mean, what a wonderful reunion for the last of this kind of tour.
Yeah. And
it's going to be wonderful.
He's got to do Hot Legs.
Yes.
He's got to do Hot Legs.
He's got to do Hot Legs.
I've got to see that. That's my request. Chris from Ottawa, Magic 100. Hi, Chris.
Hi there.
What's your question to Tina Turner?
My question to Tina Turner is maybe she can give a background of the song Whatever You Need, or Whatever We Need.
He wants me to talk about it?
The song that we had already played earlier, whatever you need?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You want to know what?
What would you like to know about that?
I would like to know, is this Tina?
Yeah?
Tina,
Hi.
it's a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to also thank you for helping me through some troubled times through your strength and your music, and I'll always be grateful.
So you see, I told you guys we're involved as well. Thank you very much for that.
Absolutely wonderful CD. I've played it continuously all week.
All right.
And I just love this first song, first track, Whatever We Need.
Whatever you need, yeah. And that was a song that we talked about earlier, which is has many. Well, your mother was not well, and you sang that song. Anything else you want to add to that before we go to Andrew in Halifax?
Well, you want to know about the history of the background of the song?
Yes, if you could.
Okay. That song, I think that was a one that my manager was hatching again. You know, he was one of those that came up with What's Love Got to Do with It. So this is another one that he squeezed in that he'd had years and years ago. I think that he was holding just for sentimental reasons. And when he played it for me, I absolutely loved it. And then we went in the studio with little Johnny Douglas in London, which is a wonderful, another one of those young producers that's really climbing the ladder. And he really made it happen. It was always very special for me as well. I think the song has two levels of a feeling. The fact that it's very kind of spiritual and religious, but it's also a love song as well. So I like it from that angle as well.
Thanks for your call, Andrew, Halifax, C100. Hello there. Hello, Andrew. Say hello to Tina.
Tina?
Hi.
Oh, it is a shining moment in my lifetime to be able to tell you that I love you.
Thank you.
And thank you for being who you are.
All right.
For being the background to my life.
Super.
I love you.
Do you have a question for...
I have a question.
Go ahead,
Two quick
Andrew.
questions. Did you ever sing with Janis Joplin?
9. No, but Janice came and spent the last week with me before she passed.
Really?
She came to the Hungry Eye, and she sat there every night and watched the performance. And the week after that, she passed.
Oh.
Yes, she was a real fan. I can't say we got to know each other, but her last moments, or may we say her last times, was spent at the Hungry Eye in San Francisco watching Ike and Tina Turner.
Wow.
You have a second question, Andrew?
Yes, I do. I don't know if you can do this, but if you could, is there one song that you would pick of yours that means more to you than the others that you would put in a time capsule?
Oh, that's a great question.
Okay. In a magazine stand, don't go in for that. Life goes round and round. We seek what we find, but it's all an illusion. That's what it's called. All the woman that I wanna be. Listen to it. Huh?
All right.
Tina, I Can Die Now. You sang.
Okay.
Right to you, and only you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thanks for your call.
All right.
All right. All the Woman, you want to play that right now?
Oh, why not?
Oh, let's do it right now. Okay, here we go. Tina Turner. 24/7. I love this album. I love this album.
I do too.
I'm so glad that you love this album. You must feel really, isn't it great when you know you've done a great project? How thrilling is that for you?
It's so good because good songs are rare.
Yeah.
And good, how do you call songs that really fit a personality? They're my songs. They are Tina Turner kind of songs. They're really good. I'm really excited about the album.
We're really excited having you with us. Marilyn Dennis talking to Tina Turner across Canada. Angela from Vancouver is on standby. We're going to take a break. We'll be back. All the people across Canada. No, and Tina's going, wait a minute, this is my day off. Wait a minute. Tina Turner with me, Marilyn Dennis here, and Angela from Vancouver from 103.5 QMFM. Hello, Angela.
Hi.
Thanks for waiting for us.
Hi, Tina.
Hi.
Hi. I just have a little story to tell.
Okay.
And I'm wondering if Tina will remember it. Your Break Every Rule concert.
Yeah.
In Vancouver.
Yeah.
I was about 8 or 9 years old.
Oh.
I had tickets actually up in the bleachers. I was all dressed up. And these two ladies saw me, and they had tickets on the floor.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh, you look so cute." And they stuck their ticket under theirs, and they took me down on the floor.
Oh.
And I started dancing in the aisle.
And?
And Tina said, "Whoa, whoa, boys, stop the music." And she brought me up on stage, and I sang What's Love Got to Do with It with her.
Angela!
Oh, my goodness.
Angela, lucky you.
I know. it's a thrill that I'll never forget.
My gosh.
Oh, my goodness. So she must be, 14 now or something?
How old are you now, Angela?
Oh, no, I'm 23.
23. Oh, my God. Has it been that long? Time goes by.
What a great story. Do you have a question for her? Or?
I don't have a question. I'm just hoping I get tickets. But I just wanted to let you know that you're an inspiration in my life. I'm a single parent, and I love you so much. You have great music, and just keep up the good work. And like the song you sing, you are simply the best.
Oh. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was a great story.
Thank you very much. You know, I was just thinking, with all the things that you could do after you kind of,
slow down
a little bit. Yeah. You could talk about single parenting. You could talk about Buddhism. You could talk about eating right. You could talk about health and fitness. You could have Tina Turner videos on how to keep fit. I mean, endless.
It's a lot to do.
Endless possibilities. You're not going to be bored at all.
No, not at all.
All right. Gina from Whitby, listening to Chum FM. What's your question, Gina? Hi, Gina. Is Gina there?
No.
Uh-oh.
Hello.
Hi, Gina.
Hello.
Hello. You're talking...
No, I'm not Gina, though.
What's your name?
My name is Liz.
Liz, where are you calling from?
Calling from Oakville.
Well, Oakville is close enough for us. You're listening to Chum FM?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. You want to talk to Tina? Go ahead.
I would love to. Hello,
Hi.
Tina.
Hi there.
Hi. I just really have a comment, a quick little story. I saw you in Bahrain in the mid-'80s. I don't know if you remember Bahrain in the Middle East.
Of course. Yes.
Yes, I was living over there, and I was absolutely floored that I was going to see you, and I traveled. I was in Saudi Arabia, and I went to see you, and our take on the whole side of it was that, I mean, we had a fabulous time, and I just wondered how it was for you presenting yourself in the Middle East, and how it was for you.
It was quite interesting. It was very, very interesting. I was there, and my comeback song of Let's Stay Together of Al Green's was a hit, and I was still there doing performances, and we were just a rock and roll band, and we were at the airport on our way out, and me and my girls and my musicians are all very, very close. We were just kind of sitting around at the airport, and one of the girls was sitting on the lap of one of the musicians. They almost took them to jail. Oh. It's not permitted. You cannot, be affectionate in public, but we weren't told. So other than that, it was wonderful. We had the performances was actually wonderful, but we learned that if we ever had to go back there, that we had to be instructed on behavior and cultural.
Well, it was interesting because I don't know if it's true, the rumor that was going around the room, because it was a small venue, that you had to do an audition in the afternoon wearing what you were going to wear, and they had to, I guess, approve it or something.
Oh, you were at that one.
Yes, I think it was at the Hilton on
Yes, absolutely. Well, you're absolutely right. I know that one because I'm very sensitive about certain dresses that go to certain songs, and I did actually have to change a costume simply because it was too much with a low neck. Yeah. They didn't mind the leg bit, but at the top had to be covered a bit, and I ended up wearing a kind of an Indian costume or something, but it was okay because I realized that was how it was. But other than that, I think that people enjoyed the show.
Yes. It was a fine moment for me, and thank you so much.
Thanks very much for your call.
So I'll see you June the 4th.
Hey, excellent. I'll be sitting right next to you. Very good. Thank you very much for your call. Do you work out?
No.
No. Okay. I don't like you.
I'm very happy that I never had to, but I can tell you that that I believe that I've been saved by not worrying about what other people do, because once it's time for a show, I simply get involved with the mechanics of it, with the running order and hiring the dancers or the backing singers and the songs, and I never think about jogging or running. And then it all starts with the dancing and the choreography and all of that. And by the time production is finished, the heart rate is up where it's supposed to be and everything is fine. So I've never had to go through all of that training in order to do a performance. It starts with production.
So you turned 60 in November. Am I right?
Yes.
There's no way. I'm looking at you right now. And you have never had any work done at all?
No.
I have. And I'm really mad at you.
But you don't look like it.
But you know what? It's just, what is that, though? Is the clean lifestyle? Do you follow some special It's, what do you do, Tina? Tina, what is the...
I'm trying my best to find an answer, and I'm going to try to make it as short as possible, unless we're running online. I wish I had I had some words to tell every woman or every man what to do, but I can only say that this is how I am. Aside from the fact that look how long I've been singing and dancing. Everyone is exercising now. Everyone is involved with all kinds of health regimes and whatever.
Yeah.
And I have just simply lived a life of work.
Yeah.
Singing, which is the exercise, the yelling of needing it. The body needs it, according to aerobics these days. The singing and dancing on stage, all of that sweating, all of that is aerobics itself. And
plus you love what you do.
Plus I love what I do. There has not been anything stressful. And I, about maybe 15, 20 years ago, became homeopathic. So I haven't taken actually anything that's harmful to the body in terms of chemicals, etc. And I care about how I look, so I don't lay in a box of chocolates or ice cream, etc. But I also eat what I want. I'm not totally left wing or right wing when it comes to
You just watch what you do.
I just watch what I do. But it's just genes. It's just how I am.
Well, I wanted to ask you about this song on 24/7. It's "Don't Leave Me This Way." We're kind of short for time, but I want a quick story before we play because you've got to hear this song.
Well, the producers of When the Heartache Is Over, they had given quite a few songs, and they came in with this one, the very last. And he sat down, the writer sat down with the acoustic guitar, and he started to play it. My whole body chilled, and I sang it with him as if I knew the song. I had the lyrics before me, and I sung it with him on the spot. It was a song that was very natural, that felt good, and that still feels really wonderful.
It's full of angst.
Yes. I'm looking forward to singing that as a kind of an unplugged way, I think, like the Let's Stay Together. It's a natural. Even if it's not a hit record, it doesn't matter. It's a good song to play for the people. It's wonderful.
Well, that's why we're going to play for the people right now. Don't Leave Me This Way, Tina Turner. Dennis here taking a couple of emails for Tina Turner. And I tell you, the time has gone by so quickly.
So quickly, yes.
Well,
thank goodness.
It's her day off. We have an email from Denise, and she's asked 4 questions. So just, one word answer is fine with me.
Okay.
It's kind of like your Vanity Fair interview.
All right.
I love that. Is Bryan Adams the cutest person you know, Tina Turner?
Yes.
How do you dance in those heels?
Easily.
Do you ever not want to sing?
Yes.
Ah. You want to expand on that a little bit? Yeah.
Sometimes I think my performance is like a party. Everyone's having a good time. They're dancing. The show is good. But sometimes I just don't feel like a party.
Okay.
I don't feel like having a party. But it's okay. Once the music starts and I walk out on the stage, it's okay.
Yeah.
But before I initially walk out on the stage, I just don't feel like it. I don't want to sing. I don't want to dance.
You don't want to dance.
I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
It's enough already. I go home now and stop all of this. Yes, there are times.
All right. And what is your favorite memory career-wise?
Ooh, when I was wearing the jean jacket and the leather skirt and the fishnet stockings, and I was singing "It's Only Love," and that's all with Bryan Adams.
And that was sexy.
That was my rock and roll image.
It looked like you guys were having so much
That was
fun.
my time. That was when I stepped into the realm of being recognized as a female rock and roll singer, and I started to fill stadiums, and all of that was the moment. The picture, the hair was, everything was that moment of a 40-something-year-old woman that didn't care about it, but the image of getting there with that jean jacket and that hair and that dress and those stockings and shoes. Since I got there.
Hey, are you going to, Bryan Adams originally from Vancouver, are we going to see him on any of these Canadian
I sure
tour dates?
hope so.
I do too. He's on the song Without You, though.
Yeah.
But he doesn't, his name isn't there, is it?
Yes, it is.
Is it? Oh,
it should be.
I should put my glasses on. Okay.
And, of course, he was on the special, the 40th birthday special. 40th birthday special, 60th birthday special. Yeah, he's around. You know how Bryan is. Today, he's just kind of doing what he wants to do, and he might show up.
Yeah.
It would be a surprise, wouldn't it?
It would be a great surprise.
Would.
It would be a pleasure. Is there a routine that you do before each show? And Wayne Hawthorne would like to know that. I think people, they really enjoy your shows. I don't know of anybody that's ever been disappointed by a Tina Turner show. We're always curious. What do you do before? What do you do after?
Okay. I sleep late. I get up 11:30 to 12. I have my brunch or breakfast. And then I eat about 3 hours later. That is my meal that will hold me to do the performance because it's too close then to work with.
Right.
I get to work, I do my makeup, and I slowly transform myself into the performer. And it's a slowly transition. It's a form of yoga where you sit there and slowly bring yourself into the next person, meaning all of the makeup, and then finally you put on the armor, the dress, and you step right into the personification of what you are about to do. And that is all I do. It's only the moment of going to my audience and making the preparation. And I don't like for anything to interfere. I don't want to meet anybody. I don't want anybody in my dressing room. I only want to sit there and paint my face and get ready for what I am about to do. And that's all.
Do you want to know if somebody special is in the audience?
I don't like it.
You want
because
to
it's a distraction.
Ah, all right.
I'm thinking, what do they think about this? What do they think about, would they like this? Or would they? David Bowie said something to me once. He said, he's the same. Because once Sinatra was watching a performance of his, and he looked out and saw that Sinatra wasn't there, and it interfered with the rest of the performance.
Oh.
It interferes when professional people are there. It's the best to play for just the audience, just an audience there to see the show. Nothing else. Don't bother a star with anything because it's a distraction. Something gets in the head where you start to wonder, are they watching? Are they looking? What do they think about this? What about the dress? It's no matter how professional you are, it comes into the head. Sure. I don't want to know.
All right. Roger, Clarksville, Nova Scotia, C100 FM. Hi, Roger.
Hi, how are you?
Good. What's your question to Tina Turner?
Okay. Hi, Tina. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay. Actually, I have a quick story and then a question.
You have to do really quickly, okay, Roger?
Quick story.
Okay. First of all, it was my lifelong dream to work for Disney World, and a year and a half ago, I got to do it. I was a cultural rep for Canada. And I'm getting ready to go back, I think. And I was just wondering if you had any advice to give a young person starting out in their career, although this isn't to do with the music business, what would it be?
Well, first of all, you have to be patient and be able to receive delegation. And there's something else with young people today that cannot receive instructions or being told, or I don't have the exact words in mind. There's a kind of a patience that you must be able to receive to be able to get where you need to get to.
To be open.
To be open, to step back and receive and be able to accept being told and being controlled to be able to get where you want to get. Now, the person that you become after you arrive is a different story. But in order to get there, sometimes you must step down and allow yourself to be able to arrive where you want to.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you've been in the business for a long time, and I still think that you do that, and that's what makes you so successful, because you want to hear what other people have to say.
Yeah. And you must listen and be able to. I don't have that word in my head at the moment to try to tell you what it is, but it's good enough to say, step back, reflect, and take a deep breath and move forward. Try to arrive at where you want to get.
Well,
and then be a bad person if you want to.
And you know what? On that note, we got to play 24/7. We got to play the title track. Here's Tina Turner on the Chum Radio Network. Wow. Excellent. Perfect song for you, 24/7. That's what you do. That's right. Your stamina is unbelievable.
It's my way, yeah.
You know what? I have so many questions to ask you. We've run out of time. We have about 2.5 minutes left, but I'm going to be selfish and take them and say, how'd you meet your boyfriend? Did you go after him? That's a little girl chat now.
Okay. I went after him because he was cute, and there was something very right about him, and I was not wrong.
What wouldn't tell us about him? Oh, what is it about him? Who is he? What's his name? Where's he come from? What's he do?
His name is Alvin, as we would call him, Irwin. He's a record company executive. He's conservative. He's cute enough. He's one of those kind of men that's not too cute and not too unattractive. Okay. He's German. He's very cosmopolitan. And he was very young when I approached him, but I didn't care. I didn't think about age. I just liked him. It was, as we call a first sight attraction, and as he called a chemical charge. I saw him, and I was shocked, and I liked him, and I just decided I waited for about a year, and I thought to be sure. And then Did
you make the first move? You called him?
Yeah. And I had about 2 bottles of champagne.
Irwin? And he said, yeah.
No, he didn't.
Oh, we have maybe 45 seconds. He finally said yes.
In a strange kind of way, I decided not to come back to America. Okay. I rented a house in Gstaad for the snow, and I invited friends in from England and from Germany and all. And he came, and that was how we got together.
Well, you know what, Tina? An hour and a half's not enough with you.
That's right.
So when you come back and you're promoting some kind of video or whatever, because you'll be doing stuff. You'll be back in time.
I'll be doing stuff.
We've got to do another one of these.
All right.
I want to tell you that Tina's album 24/7 is out in stores right now. It is fantastic, and I'm not kidding you. I enjoyed every song, and I enjoyed the pleasure of your company tonight. She's made in Vancouver, May 13th at GM Place, June 4th, Air Canada Centre in Toronto. That's sold out. June 10th, Molson Centre in Montreal, June 11th, Corral Centre in Ottawa. And those cities that I mentioned, other than Toronto, of course, those tickets go on sale next Saturday. 24/7, Tina Turner, thanks for being with us in Canada. And thanks for all your calls and your emails. A pleasure. We look forward to seeing you.
Yes.
This has been a special presentation of the Chum Radio Network.